I'd like to welcome today's panelist, Professor Bola Akintenewa, Director General, Bolitech Center for International Diplomacy and Strategic Studies, Yemi Adamolekun, Executive Director in Office Enough, Professor Anthony Killer, Professor of Strategy and Development and Director at the Center for International Advanced and Professional Studies, CIAPS, and Modele Sharafa Yusuf, veteran journalist and Arise News analyst. As political activities gather steam ahead of the 2023 general elections, a group of leaders of northern Nigerian elections has affirmed that the region will not vote based on sentiments. The leaders say northern Nigeria will only support a presidential candidate with capacity to address the nation's socio-economic and security problems. They insist that they don't care the region where such leaders come from. While describing President Muhammadu Buhari as a disappointment, the leaders promised not to repeat the mistake of 2015 when the North voted based on sentiments. Meanwhile, some Nigerian politicians have already announced their intention to run for the presidency in the 2023 general election. On the list, we have former Governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, incumbent Governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, celebrated journalist and entrepreneur Dele Momodu, and Kahdijah Okunnu-Lamidi, the only female so far, and former governor of Abia State, who is also a serving Senator Orji Uzo Kalu, among others. More politicians are, however, expected to throw their hearts into the ring in the coming days. I'm now being joined by Kahdijah Okunnu-Lamidi, first female presidential aspirant to declare her intention to contest the 2023 presidential election. Kahdijah Lamidi Okunnu, great pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you for
where
having
you are
me.
38. I guess within the purview of the Constitution, Section 131, you are qualified to say you want to be president of Nigeria. But you know the kind of country we live in. Some people will say, 38, woman. Why does she say she wants to be president? Okay, why do you want to be president of Nigeria, and what do you intend to bring to the table?
Thank you for having me. My name is Kahdijah, and thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Okay, so what do I bring to the table? You know, when you talk about experience in leadership, in politics, what experience do we really want to talk about? Experience is actually three things. It's judgment, ability to make the right judgment at the right time. It is a deep love for your country, which is, for me, one of the greatest services you could do, you could offer your country. And three, integrity. These three things, I don't think require age, they don't require gender, and they don't, it doesn't matter your ethnicity or your religious background. I'm here, you know, generally to be a change agent, number one, to offer the country a sense of inspiration, a sense of unity, whereby we can actually get up and decide to make a change, to make a transformational change, whereby regardless of how complicit or how complicit anybody could have been over the years, we decide to make a change. We decide to actually move the country forward, to make the country work again. You know, when we think about it in the next 10, 20 years, it is actually the fault of my generation, if anything, if the country doesn't move forward. We have absolutely nobody to blame. So it's our responsibility, and this is the reason why, at this point in time, this juncture, I decided to stand up. I'm sure many, many more are going to get up, which is the plan. I'm hoping that, you know, we all are able to, through this, by design, through this race or through this journey, we build the country to the Nigeria of our dreams, and a formidable world power, you know, I must say.
Yeah, I get a point about gender representation and youth representation. With regard to gender, we've been there since Wurala Esson in the 60s. In the 80s, we had Franca Afegboa. But every effort to ensure gender representation in Nigerian politics would seem to have failed. And I see people making an effort. Okay, when you showed up, I thought, okay, this is a very good case of a woman also saying, look, if Nigerian population is 50-50, more or less, then women should also be...
60-40, Mr. Ruben.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm more representative of what Nigeria is.
Oh, you think it's 60-40?
Yes, women are more than men.
In Nigeria?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I missed that.
Okay.
So when did they conduct that census?
Well,
I thought it was 50-52.
Yeah, 60.
Okay, don't let's argue about statistics.
All right, okay.
Then, women in Nigeria also have a stake in the matter. What do you think will be different this time, and that gives you an advantage?
Well, I'm representing, the whole country. Through the poverty, through the disenfranchisement, women suffer the most. We're at the bottom of the ladder when you look at it. We suffer for the insecurity, we suffer for the lack of access to power, access to economic power. So in this situation here, I don't want to, just let people think that, where I'm going to go in there and be representative of just my women folk. My women folk are definitely going to benefit. That's a given because I'm a woman. However, I'm trying to ensure that everybody in their own way are able to get up and make their own little environments even more, what's the word? They're able to empower themselves. I think that's the word we should use here. We have to be able to empower ourselves to do better and to move the country forward.
Well, okay, so what is your agenda for Nigeria? What do you think you can do differently beyond gender?
Yes.
Why are you in this race?
Okay, like I explained earlier, we have, through the campaign, we're hoping that our communication will be able to get to everyone running and everyone who is not running. As we go along, where our plan is to provide legacy projects. And I'm hoping that everybody watching, anybody that is planning to run, let the campaigns be different this time. So any stipends or whatever it is that you think that you want to give to the populace, let's create legacy projects. You can do, there are communities that they have no power. They don't have access to power. You can light up communal areas. Those are the kind of campaign projects you should do rather than the 5,000 or 1,500 you give people. Those are the kind of projects you can do. You can create water projects in different communities. Those are the kind of projects that I would like to see getting done because this is what myself and my team are planning to go ahead. All the monies that we're able to raise, these are the kind of projects. So whatever the outcome is, you see development, you see a trail of development as we go through the election cycle. And that's how it should be. If we do this every time, we are going to definitely find development as we look back on what we've done. Now, I've been consulting widely. There are people who, that are experts. In this thing, all you have to do is have a listening ear and have to make the right judgments at the right time. So I've been talking to different, stakeholders, and we talk about the economy and how we can drive the economy and the GDP, how you can incentivize and bring in new activities into the economy. There was one we recently spoke about, which was the diaspora. I saw that the federal government actually adopted that recently. So in this situation, it's where we have to stimulate the investments, where we can, we're looking for money up and down the place, but we are sitting on money. We have the NLNG where we have 49% stake. If we sell some of our stake there, we'll raise $3 to $7 billion, where we can actually create investment funds that we can use to stimulate different sectors of the economy. When you think about even looking at just finished iron, every infrastructural project requires that we put iron in the ground. Every piece of iron that we put in the ground is imported. So if we're able to, create these you use investment banks across the world, and you stimulate investment where you tell people that, for the next 24 months, we're going to be your off-takers. So you're going to allow them to come in because they already know for the first 24 months of production, the country is going to take the product from us. These are little things you can key into different sectors of the economy. And, and then the second thing is rule of law. We have, without law, there'll be no order. So we have, I have so many people who have been, speaking with. We have, I'm sure you know, Mr. Yemi Johnson, SAN. I don't really know how, the intricacies of the judiciary, but we need, incredible people to come and look into it and dissect what the issues are and help us get out of that so that, the system can flow as well. Then we have, there are other aspects of it. As we go, as I consult widely, these are the things we discuss. I'm not really, the campaign is one thing, but that's not really, I think, my area of interest right now. It's more of whatever the situation is, you keep putting solutions into that pot where we can actually move the country forward.
Okay, but at the moment, we don't even know the political party that you belong to. You say you want to be president of Nigeria. Yes, the Constitution grants you that right. But which political platform do you intend to use? And then why are you so courageous that you can play in this space where you have, for example, from Lagos State, where you come from, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has declared interest, and also, we also hear from Ogun State, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, may also be part of this race. And here you are, the youngest who has, stepped up so far. What gives you the confidence that you'll be able to play the game?
Oh, okay.
And what platform?
Okay, well, the platform, there are many parties out there. We'll make that decision. I will make the announcements pretty soon enough. So just watch out for that. We have not made a decision.
No, tell me the platform.
No, we've not. We're still.
Not PDP, not APC.
Sir, you will hear very soon, sir. You hear that.
Okay, is there another reason behind this interest in the presidency of Nigeria?
Is there another reason?
I'm Kahdijah Lamidi Okunnu. I want to be president of Nigeria.
Okunnu-Lamidi. Okunnu-Lamidi, the other way.
Oh, is it the other way?
Yes, I'm married.
Okunnu-Lamidi.
Yes.
Okay, you are married to the Lamidis,
yes.
But you are an Okunnu.
Yes.
Okay, fine. But what's the game plan behind this?
Well, like I said, I feel like treason is the most punished, is the worst of all cases that you could have in a country. And I am a passionate Nigerian. I feel like if the country calls, it's a call of duty. I figured that we do. As I consult widely, there's a lot of disheartened individuals. There are a lot of silos of disgruntled people. If throughout my life, the reason why I believe that through everybody I've met in my lifetime is how I'm going to use to run this race. It's not a one-man army. It's going to be a collective effort. And if if I'm able to pull people together, and from different areas, I've created strong ties across the country. If I'm able to be that unit where people there'll be reference and there'll be access to opportunity, I think I should offer myself up, sir. Don't you think?
Yeah, well, you are qualified, as I said, under Section 131 of the Constitution. But if you were to be president of Nigeria, what are those key issues that you are likely to focus on? What agenda are you and your team working on?
Well, like economic stimulation is very key because you can't really solve most of it without making sure that you solidify the economy. Then there's going to be security. There's going to be education, health, access to health care. And then definitely the reorientation of the Nigerian brand. I think for me that's the most important.
How will you reorientate the Nigerian brand? What is wrong with the Nigerian brand?
Patriotism is low. It's at an all-time low. I think many people don't have the would I call it the courage to defend and stand up for their own country. I think everything, foreign or everything that is not of us is more attractive to us in this day and age, which is not supposed to be the way it is.
Okay, but there's this north-south dichotomy. Northern leaders now are saying, well, what is going on in the country Maybe perhaps they were sentimental in 2015. It should not happen this time. There are also issues about rotational presidency, where the presidency should be zoned to. There are even some people saying that, look, you need to restructure this country before anybody can go forward. What's your position on some of those issues?
Well, you know, in all of these conversations that we have, unity is key. And anything that is going to, we have to negotiate. So yes, I am of the opinion that restructuring would be beneficial to the country. Now, the terms and the type of restructuring is what we need to sit down and agree upon. Okay. Is what we need to sit down.
We agree upon it.
Yes, yes.
What's your idea? What do you think needs to be done to restructure Nigeria to move this country forward?
Well, first things first, the size and functions of the federal government, I think, are too vast. I don't think there are a lot of repeat functions which need to be worked on. I believe that, what else will I talk about in restructuring? I believe regions should actually have more control. I think that regions should, because this is what is going to stimulate competition, and the competition stimulates growth. There are lots of other minor parts. Mr. Ruben, don't make me say everything that as we go along, we need to consult as widely as possible.
No, feel free. This is an open forum.
I know
we don't gag anybody on this program.
I know it is, Mr. Ruben.
Yeah?
Yes.
But okay. When you look at the field, some of the other people who have declared, you have Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Some people are saying the vice president should also declare. Some people are pushing for Kahdijah, governor of Ekiti State. Some people are saying Oji Uzo Kalu, he himself had come forward to say he wants to be president. The governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, also appears to be interested. And here you are, the daughter of Chief Femi Okunnu, 38 years old, protected by the Constitution, under Section 131. And you say you want to take on these giants. Okay, let's start with the not about rights, money. Where are you going to get the money from to play this game?
Well,
and how much weight do you think you have?
Okay, the first question, Mr. Ruben, you talked about, some of the leaders in the country, in some of the parties, and, we don't want to take anything away from them. They've contributed immensely. But what I represent here right now is representing our fight against poverty, our fight against underdevelopment, our fight against insecurity. This is what I represent. Any other, any other narrative is not what I represent at all. So whatever the situation is, let us stick to that goal, and let us try to solve that issue, because that's what's going to make millions of Nigerians comfortable and happy. And it's going to also help us compete in the global market. Then you spoke about funds. Nigeria is, how many millions are we? And
208 million.
I'm actually running on the mandate, of the Nigeria that we see. And we don't understand the value. What's the GDP? The value on each person. My team is growing. You have no idea. We're growing in skills. We're growing in capacity. These things you can't really put a tangible amount on. So I'm running on actually an intangible budget, which you can't really fix on any. So that's what we're running on.
Okay, but since you started this campaign, have you received any support from women groups? Because I know there are many women groups out there who say, look, Nigerian women must be part of this process of governance. They say the Nigerian men have failed and we should take charge. So what kind of response have you received? And I ask you this question because in those days when I used to draft policies and programs and documents for women in Nigeria, one of the major problems we discovered was that the biggest problem with Nigerian women in terms of political representation are the Nigerian women themselves. Have you experienced that?
You know, I was hoping you won't bring that up, but now that you have, Mr. Ruben.
No, I was part of that process in the 90s. I wrote for them.
I understand. I have, through my life, I think I've gotten more support from women than men. And one of the reasons why I feel like this narrative is being put forth is still the fact that many women think that women do not support them. That's not true. I've always had the best support from the women. And many women, this narrative that you're bringing out now, there'll be a young girl somewhere who is looking at a woman who is going to make tremendous contributions to her life, and she's going to have that playing in the back of her mind, that she's not going to help me. So we need to change that narrative so that she can actually summon the courage to walk up to the woman and get the help she needs. So that story or that narrative that is being pushed, we need to, slow it down. And I'm hoping that I can show that this is not true. And this is, because right now, to be honest, I'm actually hopeful. I'm not hopeful. I'm quite confident that the women are quite happy about this developments. And I want a lot of other young girls to, Nigeria still remains a country, you work hard, you pay your taxes, you do everything you're supposed to do, you will succeed. And we need to bring back that Nigerian dream. You don't need to be lucky. You don't need to play the lotto to make it. You don't need to be handpicked by someone of whatever for them to lift you up. You can actually work your way up there, sir.
Okay, Kahdijah, you want to be president of Nigeria, yes, okay? Yeah, you've not told us the political platform that you are going to use. But what do you think of the Buhari administration platform? Do you think that the Buhari administration has done well? Are you going to join the APC, or will you join the PDP or another political party? We would like to know.
Okay. Well, like I said before, I think the Buhari administration has done the best they can. I think they have delivered on on their plans. However, like I said, I'm representing a fight against poverty, against insecurity, against in access to healthcare. These are the things that are still the issues on ground. Rather than talk about problems, now it's time to start talking about solutions. So these solutions is, at the end of this program, I'm going to, have a little tete-a-tete with you on how we can use the media to help in accessing and stimulating the economy. So these are
intellectual.
Yeah, that's exactly how we're going to solve things.
No, but the question that I pose to you is, look, which platform are you going to use?
I would announce that.
To address this platform. No, tell me, is it PDP or APC?
Sir, I would announce it in the right time.
Eh?
I would announce it at the right time, sir.
Oh, at this moment, you are not sure yet?
I'm not that I'm not sure. We're just trying to figure out, the issues that we have on ground and the platform best suited to help us get there.
Okay, but there are key issues in Nigeria that Nigerians are concerned about. I would like you to comment on that briefly before we move on. State police, federalism, restructuring, and security, or rather insecurity.
I spoke about that earlier. I am in support of state police, actually. However, I believe that the police need better. They need better infrastructure. I think they need a lot of the restructuring needs to take place in the police. As I am on air now, please, I would like to acknowledge. Yesterday was Armed Forces Remembrance Day, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I'd like to acknowledge that. It's thank you to all that are serving, that have served, the veterans, those still serving. We are appreciative of your work every day, for keeping us safe in our homes and in our country. Yes. So like with the police, we do need. I think there's an overhaul. They need. Their housing, their pay, the education for their children, healthcare for them. I think if you don't handle, politics is not different from your personal life. So their work is not different from their personal lives. And I think that we need to address we could address that. I mean, it's something that we need to start talking about, whether we like it or not. It needs to be addressed. And then you talked about federalism. I think proper federalism is what we are trying to do in Nigeria, but it seems like we've got some parts of it wrong. And then you talked about, what was the other thing you talked about?
No, I mentioned state police, I mentioned restructuring,
And
I mentioned
yes.
the future of Nigeria.
Yes, the future of Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, or 2023, the electoral process, direct
sir.
primaries
Whatever the
or
case
indirect
may,
primaries.
Yes, whatever the case may be, this is a call for us to fix Nigeria and start making it work again.
Okay. We all know that the presidency of Nigeria, or even ambition at the governorship or the local councillorship level, is very expensive. Where are you getting the money from to run this race?
You asked me that
Who is
earlier.
giving you? I know. I would like to ask again.
You asked me that again earlier, Mr. Ruben. I told you the Nigerian people are the ones funding us.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how much was recommended by the National Assembly? Billions of naira.
Yeah, you can only have that. I don't know, if you have that, then that's all well and good, but we're growing as we go, and this is what a country is supposed to be like. You're supposed to be able to have access to funds from people who believe in your dream.
Okay, are you really determined about this ambition, or you are just in it because you have some other motives that we do not know?
Like?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Well, no, I don't have any.
Because it doesn't look like you have some bullion van stationed somewhere.
I'm not supposed to have that.
Or that you have some basic assurances that a woman will be allowed to be Nigerian president.
Allowed? Well, I hope you.
Yeah,
I hope you're allowed.
Because somebody wrote an essay saying there are real owners of Nigeria. I don't think they consider a woman yet as a possible candidate. How do you deal with that misogyny?
I guess your expertise should speak for you. I think for me, that's always been the case.
No, not my own expectations.
No, expertise.
I want a woman.
Expertise. Your expertise.
Expertise?
Yes. So if you can do the job, and that's always been the case for me, misogyny and patriarchy has always given me room to do my work.
Okay. So you think since the First Republic, where Wura Olaison did not make it to the top, where Franka Afebua did not make it to the top, where Chimashikwe,
but all things, in all that, you all know that, at least we all know that they dearly love the country.
Okay. So this is about love for country.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Kahdijah Okunnu-Lamidi, first female presidential aspirant to declare intention to contest in the 2023 presidential election, for joining us on This Day Live, this Sunday talk show. Thank you very much indeed.